Well, this is the fourth episode of the Garage Cast. Today,
You can see, you guys can still see Rita isn't here.
yeah, Rita's still not here.
Yeah,
He's still stuck in the ditch,
Yeah.
pulling his car out.
it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate.
It's not unfortunate to be in the hospital.
Yeah.
Today we're gonna be delving into Africville. What's our question for today?
What's the question?
The question is, to what extent does the history and the destruction of Africville reflect systemic racial discrimination in Canadian government policy?
Interesting stuff.
I mean,
You want to start off? Anything else?
Question.
Okay.
systemic racial discrimination. Africville began 1800s.
Yeah, I think.
It was when black settlers came here and built homes, and they built a strong community together. And
the Halifax.
Halifax,
In Novascotia,
it was around the community was centered around Seaview United Baptist Church, right?
Yeah.
Over time, I think like the city itself. So the history and how it reflects systemic racial discrimination. The city itself denied basic services to the community.
First few months, they gave them sewage system, drinking water, but like later on, they cut the systems. They cut the sewage.
Can I know why?
The water. It's because it's just simple.
Racism.
Yeah.
The white supremacy, like every single racist event that happened back in the day, it's because they thought the whites were the greats.
Thought they had all the power.
Yeah.
They took tax and they
refused to provide like common services that we have today: sewage systems, paved roads, garbage collection, even. Like
Yeah.
imagine
They had to pay for all
imagine
of that.
Yeah, they had to pay for all
They
that.
had to pay for everything.
Like imagine that. Imagine going home, right, to your backyard, like or wherever you put your trash can, and it's all filled with trash because they never
Yes.
come unless you pay them a
Yes.
set amount.
You have to pay them.
The smell,
Yeah.
the raccoons too.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting. All that just because the government refused to do the basic tasks.
Yeah. Spend money, chip every dollar, cutting corners. I agree that the situation was unfair, but I think that calling it systematic racism might oversimplify things.
Why do you think that?
Because like in the 1950s and the 1960s, many cities across North America were going through urban renewal projects. I'm pretty sure that's what they were called. And government often targeted like areas they considered like slums for
So
For
you're
redevelopment.
thinking that they didn't provide the sewage system, the water, because the government wanted them to move away from the area so they can start rebuilding.
No, I think what he's saying is that they didn't provide the services because they couldn't. They started getting rid of the services for poor places because that's the place where you'll have the least amount of money. They couldn't afford, so they wouldn't really care much because it doesn't really
They're not
help
worth
them.
it.
In the government point of
Yeah,
view,
it doesn't benefit them.
it doesn't
Yeah.
benefit them to give them free stuff.
All they think about is money.
Yeah.
the only thing. Yes.
Speaking on this point, I mean, that's true that the system it could also be because of that, but historical evidence suggests something different, deeper. Africville residents they repeatedly asked the government for basic services. They were they were refused for decades, and then instead they placed prisons, railway lines, and eventually a dump nearby.
That's this more pollution.
Yes.
Yeah, and if they really wanted to improve the area, they could have invested in infrastructure instead of surrounding the community with industrial stuff.
Exactly. What makes Africville unique is like the pattern of government decisions.
Yeah, the policies didn't just neglect the community; they actively made their conditions worse.
I mean, that's why some of the historians they say that they just didn't face the normal racism. They faced environmental racism from the whole government.
Exactly.
Yeah,
The
they-
community was treated
whole-
as expendable.
The whole
Yes.
system was made against them.
I mean, the human impact was enormous. Africville wasn't just a group of houses; it was a community with traditions, families, their cultures.
Yeah.
I mean, when residents were relocated between 1964 and 1970, a lot of them lost their sense of belonging and social support networks. You know? Okay. I mean, the human impact was enormous. I mean, Africa wasn't just a group of houses; it was a community with traditions, families, culture. The residents when they were located in like 1964, 1970.
Do you guys?
Yeah, they lost their sense of belonging and social support networks. So, regardless of intent, the outcome was devastating.
We should talk about. We should talk about the discussion to relocate the community, as Africa as a whole.
Oh yeah, in 1964,
Black community.
yeah, the Halifax City Council they approved the plan to demolish Africa as part of urban renewal. Jaden, why do you think this decision reflects the systemic discrimination?
Because the relocation process was it was disrespectful.
Mhm.
Because of
Yeah.
how the
Yeah,
yes.
it was.
Yeah, they didn't ask them.
Yeah, they didn't ask. Yeah,
They
they
just
did it. They did
took
it.
the decision because
Yeah.
they
I
wanted
mean-
their benefit.
From what I heard, some of the families were moved using garbage trucks, the city garbage trucks.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Oh God, it shows a lack of dignity and respect for them. You know?
If they
Yeah,
were like a
that's-
white community, I doubt this.
Yeah.
They would have the same treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have definitely been treated better.
Using them at this point.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Using them, making them like toys.
I mean, yeah, it's just because they wanted their own benefit. They did that.
That's a fair point. But some government officials genuinely believe that the relocation process was helping the residents out.
I guess true. Planners would have thought that centralizing their residents and public housing would probably improve their quality of life. I mean, while their execution was definitely insensitive and disrespectful, their intention couldn't necessarily have been that way. Could have been improvement.
I mean, but that argument ignores the fact that the government created the poor conditions in the first place.
True. If the city had installed water systems and infrastructure decades earlier, that Africville wouldn't have been labeled a slum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Their neglect created the justification for relocation itself.
The consultation was minimal, very minimal. Residents were given meaningful input in decisions affecting their homes.
Yeah, it really reflects the power imbalance where marginalized communities had low political influence.
Sure.
Their compensations for their homes were also extremely low. A lot of the residents received far less than what they bought their homes for.
That's just lost to the families, the homes.
Mm. I'm sure. Did some of the families struggle with poverty?
Yeah,
Did they?
Yes,
They
yes.
did. So the families didn't get proper money.
So even if even if officials believed they were helping,
Terrible.
it shows serious policy failure.
Let's place Africville in a larger historical context. What do you guys think?
Largely historically, what do you think, James?
Black communities in Canada faced discrimination for centuries upon centuries. Especially
Yeah, it date back to the Black loyalists which arrived after the American Revolution, right? Which was after and refugees who came after the War of 1812. Yeah. How does Africville fit into this history, Jaden?
Africville reflects a long pattern of inequalities experienced by Black Canadians.
Yeah, even though Canada didn't have official segregation laws like the United States, discrimination still existed throughout housing policies, employment barriers, and limited political power.
It was a big and a clear example of how those inequalities affected communities over many generations.
Our discussion shows that Africville has faced a lot of destruction involved in multiple cases.
Urban renewal policies played a role, but like the long history of neglect and unequal treatment strongly suggests systemic discrimination within government policy.
It also reminds us that the policy decisions can like very deeply impact communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, its story continues to shape discussions about race, justice, and urban planning in Canada today. Anything else we want to say, guys?
I think that's about it.
All right. Well, that's our thoughts on
Africville.
Africville. Yes. Tell us your thoughts down below, and we'll see you next time.
Next time.